Okay, this is how to plan your week for high performance. This is one of my favorite topics, even though it's probably really boring for most. I have a planner um, that I use, a tangible one. I don't really like digital ones. We'll talk about the difference between the two of them. Why am I writing this? It's because I really want to help people. I believe I'm a high performer. I was able to do 6 or 7 classes for multiple semesters while working 50, 60 hours a week. And I don't know, after I graduated, I'd worked about 80 hours a week, improved a car dealership from doing an average of 2 cars per sale on average for the month the last 2 years, and we changed that to 10. So this is kind of how I do it. And then also, I don't know, I'm 25 and I've got $278,000 net worth so far. I don't know if that actually helps or not, but sometimes people like to hear about numbers. This is the foundation. Yearly load, I put everything, all the mandatory training, dates, work events, family commitments, everything in my planner first. I would recommend getting a tangible one just in case some of your electronics die, but I do that and I color code it, which is the next one. Color coded, put in a bag. I have one I had each for one of my classes, and then I had one for others like cook and laundry. Then I had another one for work, and then I had another one for my other job. All of these are all different colors. It can be very colorful. I'd recommend getting a pouch that fits your planner, and then also markers and a pencil pouch to fit all your markers. It helped me out a lot, and I put a key in the back to help me out as well. I'm pretty sure I did one of my really early videos on how I fill out my planners. I might do one later on, but this right now is just going to be the PowerPoint. After doing those two and defining my colors, then I go into monthly overviews where I put all my due dates in. If you have your syllabus and your assignments that are due, put all of those in the very first day of school. Make sure you keep it clean. Try not to do too messy of handwriting. I still do that. And I also have a red pen in there as well for if I don't do something, I cross it out and I put it on the next day, or I circle it and I come back to it. Okay, weekly execution strategy. Once the macro is set, then I usually plan 1 to 2 weeks at a time, and I do something called I forgot what it was called, something like block scheduling. Where let's see, am I gonna have it in here? All right, no, not yet. I'll have to do another one with the planner setup, but I basically just block out a bunch of my schedules, and then below that or to the side of that, I put a list of everything I need to get done in that block, and I try not to over put too much stuff in there. So here's an example right here. This was mm, okay. Sorry, but I'll do another video. I'll do one right after this. It's gonna be the point 0.5 version of this one. And I'll go through my planner myself, but we'll just talk about the big stuff for now. It's really hard to explain if you can't see it. So do your work schedule, chores and laundry. Please meal prep. You'll save a lot more time. Laundry, sleep up, wake times. It'll be more clear in the very next video. And I try to be 90% productive. Now, unless you're Elon Musk, you're probably not going to be 100% productive. But I try to hit like 90% and leave the 10% for family, friends, or doing random stuff like doing a deer hide. So that at least was my goal, and I planned every hour of the day. And then you'll always have some spare time. You get off of work early, you get off of class early, then you can go hang out with friends and stuff. But I have every hour of the day for the next week or two all planned out. Mandatory baseline. This is at least what I like to do. In a week, I usually did about 60 hours, or I should say billable hours, where I was working for somebody just so I could have income to help pay for school and pay for daily expenses, be able to invest and save money. If you watch any of my videos, you're gonna know that I try to live very cheap and build a big baseline for a pyramid. So hopefully, one day it can grow really tall. And now daily, I try doing about 4 hours. So that splits down into like I don't know, 9 hours. Yeah, about 9 hours a day here. 4 hours of skill development, which could be this, writing scholarships, learning a new language, doing anything. So that's 9, 13, 2 hours would bring us to 15. And then 8 hours here, you get whatever, 8, 9 hours of sleep. We get an hour of travel time in there or just like washing up and stuff. But train for 2 hours. Now, I'm not in the gym. Well, I am in the gym for 2 hours, but I'll do sauna, cold plunge, whatever we got to do. I think this is a good breakdown. This is what helped me out a lot, and a lot of the times sleep wasn't there because I overloaded myself a lot. But it's okay to overload yourself every once in a while, just for a season. Stacking work and goals. So I try not to separate work and personal. I try to bring everything together. So some of the jobs that I was talking about other or right before this, I did construction, I did warehousing, a lot of manual labor jobs. So one, you can get paid. Two, those ones usually have the biggest breaks, so you can work on college stuff or some skill development. And then three, you're working out basically because you're moving stuff all day. Skill building. You can do, if you don't want to do physical stuff or you don't have other stuff to work on, you can do something like I just did at the dealership there. It wasn't labor intensive, but I was really building my skills. One, I was getting paycheck, not terribly much for how many hours and stuff, but I was learning a whole bunch. So that job wasn't prioritized for money like the physical labor jobs were, and for the time. This one was specifically to do the work so I could learn the skills. Um, that I did sales, project management, communication, and stuff like that. Airport jobs. Let's see, airport jobs can align with long-term career goals. This one, again, I accidentally messed up. So I did airport jobs. I was like at DHL. I was a ramp agent, and I had a whole bunch of time off. I mean, I could work 8 hours, and I get 3 hours off, which is kind of goes with this physical labor. But airport jobs, I've had a lot of time, and then also right now I'm a charter rep at another airline, and instead of doing the laborer's job and getting a workout in and having 3 hours, now I go sit on the plane. I do weight and balance for this airline, and I sit the whole rest of the time on the plane. Don't have to do anything while we're in the air, which is really good for while I'm doing the Little Black Notebook stuff, making videos or working on other skills. So I've paired this with each individual part of my life. So if I do college, I want a physical labor job, at least myself, so I can get to the gym, I can get all my college stuff done, and I'm making money. Now I'm out of college. Now I have Little Black Notebook, so I need more time than what I would need for school and more money, basically, which is what I have right now. And then also sales job if I want business experience, and I was working at the dealership there. Time optimization, just use your downtime or anything to do your schoolwork or any side quest that you have. All right, extreme optimization. So this is, let's see, this is what I would do. This is probably one of the most productive times of my life. So this is when I was taking 6 or 7 classes, and it was at the University here in Minnesota in business. And I was working at one airport job, and then I had another airport job. The first airport job I didn't really have much downtime in. The second one, that was at the ramp agent at DHL, and I've at least 3 hours to do stuff. I forgot, I also got robbed right before this, so I was also homeless. So I was staying at friends' places, otherwise I'd sleep in the park or I'd be sleeping in my car. So I'd go to the first job at 8 o'clock. I get down at 4 o'clock, immediately go, because it's right across the airstrip, to the next job. So I get there, whatever, 4:15, whatever. I try to make it as short as possible so I get paid the whole time, and then I'd work there until I was obligated till 10, but I usually stay there until 2 a.m. I stay there till 2 a.m., one, because I don't have to work the whole time. I'm getting downtime so I can work on stuff, and if I'm going to be working on stuff, I'd rather be 75% productive and still getting paid rather than 100% productive on college work and not getting paid. So I did that as much, and then also if I was there till 2 a.m., all the weirdos and stuff are already gone. So I'd go to bed around 3 a.m., and then all the weirdos are gone. So especially it's important for the parks. Now, if you can tell, if you're going to bed at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and you got to be at work the next day, you're only getting like 4 hours of sleep. I didn't do this for years or even an entire year. I just did this for a couple months. It was during a season in life where you're working a whole bunch. I eventually got another place where I could stay in, but just because something bad happens and it can derail you, just don't allow it to derail you. It's a very short time. You just got to be proactive and just push through it. Your body will eventually adjust. Hopefully you don't get burned out in there, but if you do, I don't think you'll get burned out easier next time. At least that's what my experience has been. And of course, during your downtime, I did it here in my second job. All of that was going towards school. So it was wake up and literally grind forever and then go to bed. I forgot one time here. I want to say how far or how much I could work. So I started here at 8, went here to 4, and then I stayed at the second job until 6. Now, writing papers and stuff, that didn't happen. I just wanted to see how long I could work consistently, like a laborer's job. At least the second one is. Just for fun. But that was fun. All right, common planning mistakes, illusions of or progress. Most people spend too much time planning and too little time working. Alex Hormozy is probably one of the best people who speaks about this and says this a lot better than I can. So it's like over planning. Basically, a perfect morning routine is something that he always talks about. I do this and I do this and I do this to get in the right headspace, and I meditate, then I get my coffee. And he just says, start doing the work. And I didn't realize this, but I was actually doing this before I actually listened to Alex Hormozy. So I don't know. I think this is just a proper approach to do it. And usually when somebody does this meditation and stuff, they think that they're making progress because they're getting in the right space of mind, and they're going to be more efficient. But maybe I haven't cracked the secret code, but I didn't find that to be true. I like Alex Hormozy's approach. And seeking comfort. Now, I noticed this when I got a girlfriend or when I would hang out with friends. I'd be like, oh, my life's a little unbalanced and stuff. I could go here, especially with the girlfriends. Be like, she makes me feel really comfortable. I kind of need this. You don't. It's very, very, very nice to do it. But remember, man, you're just doing this for a season, or female, you're just doing this for a season in your life. Don't prioritize short-term happiness. Do long-term fulfillment. If you're serious about having a girlfriend, settling down with her, just grind it out for a couple years, or maybe just a year. Maybe that's all you need. Build the base of your pyramid so you can go up higher. Take advantage of your 20s. You have your maximum energy, physical and mental right now. Also, the physical stuff, if you don't use it, you lose it. So once you get out of high school, you're playing all these sports. Then you go to college, and then you're partying and everything. Your physical shape's going to go really down. So make sure you always stay on top of that. It's always good to have a laborer's job when you're in your 20s just to keep you active. Also, you have no responsibility unless you get a girlfriend, which still not a wife or nothing. There's nothing compared to having a spouse or children. You have 10 to 12 hours every day just to work full bore. And future costs. If you waste this time, it's going to affect you for the rest of your life in a huge way. Compound interest is absolutely massive. And then also, Alex Hormozy has another, I'm a huge Alex Hormozy fan, but he's got another saying of like he would rather be a it's got to be that. He rather have not lived in his 20s and be over skilled rather than the inverse of it, which is he'd rather not be somebody who lived it up in their 20s than have no skills. I know I just completely butchered that, but if you watch any of his videos, you're going to see, and I'd highly recommend that. Tools and the power of momentum. Start working. Just get right to it. Doesn't matter. No morning prep, no nothing. Just get a couple jobs, overload your plate. You'll adjust accordingly. Adaption. At least mine did. Right now, if I was sleeping 4 hours a night, it would really suck because I'm getting probably around 7 plus. But when I was doing that, when I was homeless, then my body adjusted. I'd wake up after 4 hours and I'd be, woo, let's go. Now, if I did that for 6 or 7 months, that might have not worked as well. I mean, I was just doing the dealership here, and that's when I started making these videos. I'd probably sleep 6 to 7, and that'd be good. But, I'm a little bit older now. Maybe if I was getting 4 a night for a couple months, I'd be fine. But your body and your mind all adapt to it. Alignment. If you do get burnout, I don't think you have a purpose for your job. I was never really passionate about sorting mail or breaking up. I actually really did like breaking up the concrete for short-term stuff, but I'm not super passionate about swinging a sledgehammer or working in a warehouse. But I knew this was all part of a larger plan, and that's what gave me purpose, and that's what gave me drive to keep moving forward. Kind of aligned with my goals, even though the actual individual action itself did not. And the planner. Have everything in your planner. It's amazing. Once again, I'll make a video of my planners here in the very next one, and we'll be able to see that. All right, building a life that compounds. Um, basically, build the bottom of your pyramid and have it go up. Like, make it really simple. My plan, at least, you don't have to do this, is just to work like an animal in the beginning, get a whole bunch of skills, get a whole bunch of money, and just see where that goes. I don't know where it's going to go. We'll see. You'll hopefully see too. Hopefully I keep making all these videos. But that's at least my plan. You know, I'm still young, so I don't have a complete, like, oh, yeah, this, and this. I don't have the experience. This is just my opinion, I guess, this whole thing is. Oh, that's all it. Thank you. I'll get that next video here up. Maybe it's the next one. I don't really know how to work YouTube. But I'll do one of my planners here. I'm pretty sure I did one in the past, but I'll do a couple planners because I keep them. But have a good night, and thanks for watching.